Morning, children. Let's start today's class with the motivational thought: stay positive, work hard, and make it happen. And in today's session, children, we will be discussing about the reason questions and few more important questions on group 16 elements. The first question which we are taking is: though oxygen is smaller in size than sulfur, electron gain enthalpy of sulfur is greater than oxygen. It's a very, very important question. Okay, so what you will write? Normally, what we think is electron gain enthalpy is more if the size is small. So what you do, you start writing the configuration for both. Oxygen valence shell configuration 2s2 2p4, sulfur 3s2 3p4, right? Oxygen has the second shell as the valence shell, and in the second shell the maximum capacity of the electrons can be 8 electrons can be there maximum, whereas sulfur third shell is valence, right? And in the third shell there can be, this is the third shell, and in the third shell there can be 18 electrons. Out of 18 only 6 are there. Out of 8 6 are present, right? So when maximum capacity is 8, 6 are already present, the incoming electron will face more repulsion. In oxygen there will be more repulsion which is faced by incoming electron. The incoming electron, more repulsion will be faced by incoming electron, right? So you may write the configurations of both, and then you will mention, because oxygen is smaller in size, the incoming electron will face more repulsion in oxygen, whereas sulfur, the valence shell is third. In third shell maximum capacity is 18. Out of 18 only 6 are there, so the incoming electron will face less repulsion. Clear? Next question. Oxygen is diatomic, sulfur is octa. Or in other words, it can be like, why sulfur cannot form S2? The same thing we also discussed in phosphorus and nitrogen. So what you will write? This formula we write down as S8, and this is O2. Right? Why sulfur cannot form diatomic molecule? It forms, that is different, which we are considering, that is only when S8 is heated. S2 later on we will discuss some question, but normally it doesn't exist in this form, right? So why it is like that? Because sulfur is large size atom. So because it is having large size, the overlapping, the lateral overlapping is not effective. It is not effective. Later overlapping is not effective. Whereas here, oxygen and oxygen, because the size of the oxygen is small, first sigma bond is formed, then pi bond has to be formed. Because the size is small, the lateral overlapping will be effective, right? Next question. Oxygen is gas, that is O2 is gas, and sulfur S8 is solid. Again you will talk about its atomicity. Atomicity of oxygen is 2. It is having a sigma bond and pi bond. Sulfur is S8. S8 means it is having crown configuration. It is having crown configuration. Okay, so now what is there? There are 8 sulfur atoms in the form of the crown configuration. So due to which what happens? The size is more. The size of S8 is large. Size is big. Due to which surface area is more. More the surface area, van der Waals forces of attraction also will be more. Clear? Is it clear? So this angle also you may write, it is 107 degree. Next question. Stability of the -2 oxidation state decreases down the group. The elements which we are considering, oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium, down the group the stability of the negative oxidation state is decreasing, and it always decreases in any group. Positive will always increase down the group. So either way the question can be asked, either why positive is increasing or negative can be negative is decreasing, because the size down the group increases. Size down the group is increasing. This arrow means down the group. Don't think decreases. Size down the group increases. When the size increases, the ability to gain electron will reduce. The ability to gain electron will reduce. So when the ability to gain will reduce, the negative will decrease and the positive oxidation state stability will be increasing. Clear? Next question. Oxygen exhibits only -2 oxidation state. Though you may also find oxygen showing +1 and +2, and that is only with fluorine, because fluorine is more electronegative. Oxygen in OF2 will show +2, oxygen in O2F2 will show +1. But other than that, the common oxidation states for this group are -2, +2, +4, +6. It means oxygen cannot show these, and this also only with fluorine. So why it is not showing all others, it is only showing this? Because you will write the configuration as 2s2 2p4. Okay, you will write absence of d orbital. Absence of d orbital. Because of the absence of d orbital, there is no possibility the electrons can get excited to the next orbital. Polonium cannot exhibit +6 oxidation state. Polonium is having 6s2 6p4. Even 4 is not that possible for polonium. It's quite radioactive also otherwise. But why the higher positive oxidation states are not possible for polonium? Inert pair effect. The similar question we have discussed in this 15th group where Bismuth was showing such property. Okay. Next question. It says oxygen exhibits anomalous properties, or oxygen is abnormal. Reason for that, you can write the configuration. You can write that it's having small size 2s2 2p4. Definitely you will be writing. And absence of d orbital. Then it is having high electronegativity, actually high ionization. If I say, this is main small size and absence of d orbital. Because size is small, because absence of d orbital is there, you will have many other properties. Size is small, ionization has to be high, electronegativity also will be high. Clear till here? Covalency of oxygen limits to 4, and in practice rarely exceeds 2. Means normally it doesn't exceed 2. We say oxygen is divalent. For all such questions where configuration can be written, please do write. Okay, in the marking scheme, maybe some marks are allotted for that. So, you'll write the configuration and then you will write absence of d orbital. Absence of d orbital. Because of the absence of d orbital, it cannot expand. It cannot, show the higher covalency. And even you may also write about the high electronegativity, right? But I think this is covering everything. Trioxides are more acidic than dioxides. Trioxides, oxidation state will be, say if I'm writing MO3 or MO2, if particularly you are writing about sulfur, SO3 and SO2, right? So what will be the oxidation states here? Oxidation state of sulfur will be 6. Here it will be 4. Yesterday only I discussed in the previous video which I have shared with you that higher the oxidation state, more is the acidic nature. More is the acidic nature. If any such oxides are asked, you will always compare oxidation state. Now, these are all similar type of questions. See, hexafluorides are only stable. Means if I talk about sulfur halides, that is hexahalides of sulfur, only SF6 is stable, or you can say only hexafluorides are stable, or stability decreases in this manner. Reason for this? You will be writing comparable size. Sulfur and fluorine, if they have comparable size, then the bond formed will be strong. Sulfur and fluorine, right? Otherwise, halogens are increasing down the group. The size of the halogens are increasing. One more thing you can write here, sulfur hexafluoride, the geometry is octahedral. It is octahedral. Sulfur is surrounded by small 6 fluorine atoms. So the bond form will be strong. Due to the steric reasons, we can say hexafluorides are only stable. And down the group, the size of the halogen increases. That is why the stability will decrease. Another very, very important question. Ozone is thermodynamically unstable. So for this, you will write equation O3 is forming O2. When you balance, this is 2, this is 3. So you will have to explain on the basis of the Gibbs-Helmholtz equation. Delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. Now what is happening to this? If I talk in terms of the entropy, 2 moles becoming 3 mole. So this entropy is becoming positive. Delta S is positive, right? Delta H is negative, right? Now why delta H is negative? We study in the formation of ozone. Formation of ozone is endothermic. So dissociation is exothermic. Okay. Now when this term is positive, overall this will be negative. Overall, when you are comparing, this is positive, this is negative, right? This will be negative, this as such is negative. That means the Gibbs energy is negative in this. And when we have studied in thermodynamics that if delta G is negative, Gibbs energy is negative, then the process is said to be spontaneous. So you will write this equation, you will write down in the particular question the equation for it, and then you will also write Gibbs-Helmholtz equation. Delta S is positive, delta H is negative, so the overall delta G becomes negative and the process becomes spontaneous. Spontaneous means it is undergoing dissociation. It is converting into O2, so we can say it is unstable. Next question. Ozone is powerful oxidizing agent. Why can be asked, or it can be asked like justify, right? So when it is asked it's a good oxidizing agent, you will write O3 dissociate and give O2 plus O. That O is liberated, which can carry out oxidation. So you can, if justify is asked, you can take one particular equation where it is that nascent oxygen which is given out is converting that PbS to PbSO4, right? So when you add the two equations, then you will get the final equation. Now one thing you have to always keep in mind that in most of the equations, when ozone is acting as an oxidizing agent, as many moles of ozone are consumed, that many moles of O2 are formed. Okay, so we will balance in such a manner that it comes out to be 4 only. Now you can check here, this is balanced equation, right? And if you write 4 here, now this 4 and this 4 will get cancelled. What are we left with? We are left with PbS plus 4O3 forms 4O2 plus PbSO4. This is black color, lead sulfide. PbSO4 is white salt, lead sulfate salt. Clear? Another important question. How is ozone estimated? In that you will write ozone. To estimate it, it is if reacted with potassium iodide, which is buffered with borate buffer, it will liberate iodine. That iodine is then titrated against sodium thiosulfate, standard solution of soda. That is, this is a standard solution whose concentration is known. The iodine liberated is titrated against the standard solution of hypo or sodium thiosulfate, and this is how you can estimate it, right? So you will write that ozone is made to react with potassium iodide buffered with borate buffer. It will liberate. So now when you are writing the equation, you will be simply writing this plus Ki is giving I2 plus, actually this is with water also, so that Ki will form KOH and ozone will form this O2. Okay, so when you balance it, you will get this 2, you will get this also 2. Now it is balanced equation. Clear? Exhaust systems of supersonic jet aeroplanes cause ozone layer depletion. Actually, you must have seen many times when aeroplanes are flying in the air, you'll find, a white colored trail. Okay, that is actually nitric oxide gas, NO, that reacts with ozone which is there in the atmosphere, and it results in the formation of NO2 plus O2. That means you have to write down equation in this. Okay, so the nitric oxide gas which is liberated by them, the aeroplanes, it will react with ozone and will form NO2 plus O2. So due to this reaction which is happening, the trail is formed. Yeah, another important question. Are the two OO bonds in ozone equal? You will write, yes, they are equal due to resonance. Due to resonance. When you draw the structures of ozone, it is like this. You can also complete the, the Lewis dot structure. Likewise, you can make the dots here also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 6 dots here. Right. So, in this, it appears a single bond. This one it is appearing as a double bond, but actually the structure of ozone will be a hybrid of the two, where we write down the dotted lines. The bond angle here is 117 degree, and the bond length is neither equal to single nor equal to double. It is somewhere in between, and it is found to be 128 picometer. You'll write, yes, they are equal because of resonance. Its resonance hybrid has both the OO lengths equal. Now, another question. S2 shows paramagnetic behavior. Okay, this is formed when sulfur S8 is heated. Normally, sulfur exists as S8, but if it is heated, it may break. But now the question is, this is paramagnetic. Okay, why it is paramagnetic? Because it has two unpaired electrons. Unpaired electrons, which if you remember we have done in O2 molecular orbital theory. When you write the molecular orbital electronic configuration, it is having two unpaired electrons in anti-bonding pi star molecular orbital. Right, that star we write down for anti-bonding. Like O2 was having two unpaired electron in the anti-bonding molecular orbital, even this S2 has it. So because it is having two unpaired electrons in the anti-bonding molecular orbital, it is paramagnetic. Fine. Now another question that can be framed is, how is the presence of SO2 detected? Or what is the test of sulfur dioxide? So you can check it by passing sulfur dioxide gas through potassium permanganate solution. Potassium permanganate is, violet color. This is 2. It is violet color. So when sulfur dioxide is passed through it, the violet color disappears due to the formation of Mn2 plus. That means this is getting reduced and sulfur itself is getting oxidized. It's a good reducing agent. Justify, you can give this equation. What is the test for sulfur dioxide? You can write down this equation. Okay, next one. Are the two SO bonds in SO2 equal? Again, a similar question, something like ozone. You will draw the structures like this, and then you will say yes, it is equal, because the actual structure will be a hybrid of it, where the bond lengths will be neither equal to the single bond length nor equal to the double. It's a hybrid of the two canonical forms. And actually the shape hybridization we have already discussed, it is V shape or angular molecule. Fine. Now sulfuric acid has low volatility, or you can say why sulfuric acid is used in qualitative analysis, salt analysis. So what you will write here, because sulfuric acid has H bonding. It is having intermolecular H bonding. This is one sulfuric acid molecule. This side, if you draw another sulfuric acid molecule, right? So between this HNO, there is H bonding. So you will write why it is having low volatility, or why is only sulfuric acid preferred in the salt analysis. It is because of intermolecular hydrogen bond. It is, oily. Matlab, it is not able to form the vapors. It cannot form vapors. Or, texture wise also it can be asked why sulfuric acid is oily. It is also called as oil of vitriol. Oil of vitriol. Why it is called is because of intermolecular H bonding. It is quite thick. It appears oil-like. Now, another question is Ka1 of sulfuric acid is greater than Ka2, means dissociation, first dissociation constant. Actually, it says the first dissociation constant is always higher than the successive ones. So this is the first one, means first when sulfuric acid undergoes ionization, it is going to form this. And the another one is when it is losing one more H plus. Right, with reference to this, if we apply law of mass action and write, it will be dissociation constant 1. With reference to this, it will be dissociation constant 2. And the first dissociation constant is always high because the first H plus is removed from a neutral molecule. It can lose H plus easily, whereas the second H plus is removed from a negative ion. It is removed from a negative ion, so it will not lose that H plus easily. So you will write both the equations, plus you will also specify the description. The first H plus is removed from a neutral molecule, so it can lose it easily. The second one is removed from a anion, which will not lose it. Sulfuric acid is a good dehydrating agent. Justify. Instead of asking this way, it can be also asked what happens when sulfuric acid is passed through sugar. Okay, so what exactly happens is, it's a good dehydrating agent. When you have to justify, that means you will write down one equation. If you take sugar C12H22O11 and add sulfuric acid to it, sulfuric acid will take all the water from it and will form carbon plus water. So it will form this. So justify means with the equation you will write, or the same question can be asked as what happens when sulfuric acid is passed through sugar. The answer will be the same for both. Now next we are discussing is the compounds of the 16 group elements with hydrogen. Water, H2S, H2SC, H2TE. If you are asked to compare, arrange them, questions can be asked, or in this also the reason can be framed, right? So what it is, if you are comparing these three properties, same like the previous 15 group, basic nature, thermal stability, bond angle is decreasing down the group. Now why it is decreasing? I'll take again example of say water, and write water has 2 lone pairs on oxygen. So 2 lone pairs on oxygen, and oxygen is more electronegative. Down the group electronegativity is decreasing. Electronegativity is decreasing means the electron density on the central atom is also decreasing. If I talk about water, if this is O, more electron density, because it is more electronegative, more electron density means a better donor. It can give. If it is having some electron pairs to be given, it can give it easily. So it is most basic. Down the group, size of the central atom is increasing. Size is increasing. Electron density will decrease. It will be more dispersed over the large atom. So not able to give easily. So this is the order. Water is most basic, then H2S, then H2SE, then H2T. Thermal stability. Thermal stability we talk in terms of the bond breaking. This MH, if I write this general, instead of writing O, if I write this as M, some 16 group element, then if this size, the length is increasing, size of the central atom increases, this length will increase. Length will increase means this bond can break faster, means it is becoming less stable. Right. So down the group, the thermal stability will decrease. The first one being oxygen is smaller in size, length is less, will not break easily, will be having more thermal stability. Or if I talk in terms of delta HF, means enthalpy of formation, most stable will have most negative enthalpy of formation. If I write in terms of enthalpy of formation, most negative means most stable. So water will have most negative enthalpy of formation, H2TE will have the least negative, or maybe positive also. Next, bond angle. If bond angle is decreasing down the group, if it is oxygen, more electronegative, more electron density over here. Even bond pairs are more concentrated on oxygen. More electron density here means they are going to repel. Therefore, the bond angle is comparatively bigger. Whereas down the group, the size of the central atom is decreasing. Electron density on the central atom is decreasing. Therefore, the repulsion would be less. And the next one is melting point, boiling point. Normal criteria for melting and boiling is down the group, size increases, van der Waals forces of attraction are increasing, melting, boiling should increase. It increases, similar to 15 group, but the exception of water. Water has both higher melting and boiling point maximum for water. In the previous one, ammonia, one case, melting rate was maximum, boiling rate was in between. But in this case, boiling point of this is maximum. It is intermolecular hydrogen bond. You can be also asked question like this: why is water liquid, H2S gas? Water is liquid because of intermolecular H bonding. This is gas, no H bonding. You can be also asked one more property in this: reducing nature. Reducing nature, even this is like the previous one. These three I said are decreasing down the group. This is the order. Melting point, boiling point, the same order. Reducing nature will increase down the group. H2O will be least, then H2S, then it is H2SE, and the maximum is H2TE. Reason being, reducing means which can give out H easily. As the size down the group increases, MH bond length increases. This will be able to break faster and give out H. So last one can give out H is most readily, therefore most reducing, whereas the first one is least reducing. Okay, so now in today's video, children, I have covered 16th group, all possible questions, and in the next video I will be talking about 17th or 18 together or separately. I will see how much time, how much lengthy the video is becoming. Okay, please revise 15th and 16th now. Thank you for watching.